Okay, we're going to go ahead and look at our notes on box plots. So we're going to do box plots by hand and box plots in a calculator. Okay, so a 5-number summary and a box plot go hand in hand. What a box plot is a graphical display of a 5-number summary. So I'm just going to put that here. Our graphical displays of this, so of your 5-number summary. And if you remember, your 5-number summary has your min, your first quartile, your median, your third quartile, and your maximum value. So what I have here is I've taken the data they gave me and I put it in order from least to greatest. Okay, you could also sort ascend in your calculator. So from here, pretty easily I can get the minimum and the maximum. Those aren't too bad. Okay, so next thing I need to find is the median, because you have to have your median first before you can find your quartiles. So there's 18 numbers in the data set. That means my median is going to be somewhere between my 9th and my 10th number, because it's right smack dab in the middle. So if I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So right here between these two is going to be my median. Right between, I could add them up. 47 plus 49 divided by 2 is 48. So there's my median there. So my median is going to be 48. So now what I've done is divided my data into two sets. So to find my quartiles, I do the median of the lower half for the first quartile and the median of the upper half for the third quartile. So there's 9 numbers now in each data set, because that median means middle, is right in the middle. So what's going to happen is smack dab in the middle of 9 numbers would be the 5th number. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my first quartile is 44. I'll do the same thing here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 68 is going to be my third quartile. So this is the basics of my box plot. So all I need to do now is make a number line and plot these values. So I'm going to scale by 10s. I'll start at 20 and put these along the bottom. That's 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120. So now I just need to plot each of these points. So my minimum value is 27. My first quartile is about there, which is 44. My median is going to be almost right next to it, which is 48. Then over here is my third quartile, and my maximum is all the way over here at about 114. So kind of just to help, you can see I have my minimum, my first quartile, I don't want to highlight too much, and then I did my median, my third quartile, then I've got to figure out what color I have left. It's almost embarrassing. Oh, I haven't used yellow. Then my maximum value is right there. Okay? So, what you do is you box your quartiles, you make a line through the median, and then lines out. Okay, there's my box plot. Now, a lot of times what we do in AP statistics is we adjust for outliers, and those are called modified box plots. So now to adjust for outliers, you actually need to know what the outliers are. So I have my outlier formula, which is Q1 minus 1.5 times the IQR. And then also I'm going to take Q3 plus 1.5 times the IQR. So obviously I need my IQR. So up here to get my IQR, it's going to be 68 minus 44, which gives me 24. So let's go ahead and plug stuff into the formula. So I'm going to say 44 minus 1.5 times 24. And that would give me 8. And then for my third quartile, it's going to be 68 plus 1.5 times 24, which gives me 104. Okay, so what this gives me is fences. Now my 8, it kind of would be over here, kind of off the chart. So I'm safe on that side. but my 104 would be right about there. You can see your maximum value is past that, which makes it an outlier. So what I need to do is adjust this accordingly. So I'm going to go ahead and just go number this again. 80, 90, 100. I'm sure it's very entertaining watching me number. To start there. So everything's going to be the same to start off with. My minimum will stay in the same spot. My first quartile hasn't changed. My median hasn't changed. My third quartile hasn't changed. Now, however, this 104, that is where my box and whisker plot is going to end. I'm going to box, draw the line through the median, draw my lines out. And then what I do, any value that is greater than this, I put a dot. So where 114 was, I'm just going to put a dot. Okay, so I have my regular box plot and my modified box plots. Now, do these on the calculator. We will kind of go over that in class. So let's just talk about the shape of these before. Now, since there's a positive outlier, this is skewed right. So when we talk about our socks, we're going to talk about our shape, outlier, the center, and the spread. So the shape of this, there is an outlier. This is skewed to the right. Okay, we have an outlier, so we're going to say there is one outlier at 114. Now, since outliers are present, we want to use our median in our IQR rather than our mean and standard deviation. So my center, it centers, the median is 48. The IQR is 24. Okay, so I just kind of summarized that data. I interpreted that plot. Now, we had the modified box plot shows outliers. Now there's one last thing we need to talk about, and that is what a box plot actually shows. And you get these questions a lot. So quartiles divide things into quarters. So 25% of the data is within some of these groups. Now the length of the box represents the IQR, which is the middle 50. Now, the length of the whole graph would be from the min to max, represents the range. Move it up so you can see that. And that is how you make box plots.